In a healthy society, a challenge to prove me wrong is answered with words. At Utah Valley University, it was answered with a single gunshot from a distant rooftop. This is the story of the political assassination of Charlie Kirk and the nationwide manhunt for the person who silenced him. A manhunt is ongoing after right-wing political commentator Charlie Kirk was fatally shot at age 31 during a campus event at Utah Valley University on Wednesday, September 10, authorities have confirmed. Kirk, the CEO and co-founder of the influential conservative youth organization Turning Point USA, was struck by a single gunshot while on an outdoor stage, an incident law enforcement officials are treating as a targeted attack. The shooting occurred in Orem, Utah, where Kirk was hosting his signature Prove Me Wrong event in front of an audience of approximately 3,000 people. Law enforcement dispatch audio reviewed by news agencies captured the chaos of the immediate aftermath, with first responders reporting that audience members fled in panic. Eyewitness video shows Kirk answering an audience question about mass shootings when the bullet struck his neck. He collapsed instantly as blood gushed from the left side of his neck. Federal and state officials leading the investigation have established multiple active crime scenes on the university campus. In a press conference held Wednesday evening, Utah Department of Public Safety, DPS Commissioner Bo Mason stated that the investigation is a joint effort. The Utah Department of Public Safety and the Federal Bureau of Investigation are co-leading this incident in unison with the Utah County Attorney's Office and local police departments, Mason told reporters. This is an active investigation and a manhunt for the shooter is underway.
Officials have not yet publicly identified a suspect. Commissioner Mason confirmed that two separate persons of interest were detained Wednesday in the hours following the shooting, but neither was determined to be connected to the incident, and both were released. There are no current ties to the shooting with either of these individuals, Mason stated, adding that one had been charged with obstruction. Charlie Kirk was a prominent and often polarizing figure in American politics. As a co-founder of Turning Point USA, he built a national organization aimed at mobilizing conservative students on college campuses. A close ally of U.S. President Donald Trump, Kirk was a prolific author, a top-charting podcaster, and a culture warrior who frequently engaged in heated debates on social issues, earning him both a loyal following and intense opposition. His Prove Me Wrong tour was a centerpiece of his activism, where he would set up a table on campus grounds and invite students to debate him live. The investigation is proceeding on a massive scale. Utah Governor Spencer Cox, speaking alongside Commissioner Mason, appealed directly to the public for assistance. He said investigators had already received over 7,000 tips and had conducted more than 200 interviews. "We cannot do our job without the public's help right now," Governor Cox said, his voice somber. "We ask anyone who was at the event, who saw anything, no matter how insignificant it might seem, to contact the authorities. No tip is too small." On behalf of the university, President Astrid Nielsen released a statement. "We are shocked and saddened by the tragic passing of Charlie Kirk, a guest to our campus. We offer our sincerest condolences to the Kirk family and to all who bore witness to this unspeakable tragedy." The Utah DPS didn't immediately respond when contacted for additional information.
U.S. investigators on Thursday released photos and a video of a person of interest in the fatal shooting of influential conservative activist Charlie Kirk and said they had found the rifle believed to have been used in the politically charged killing. The new evidence marks the first significant breakthrough in the case, suggesting the shooter was a skilled marksman who planned the attack meticulously. According to a Utah Department of Public Safety (DPS) news release, the fatal round was fired from the roof of the school's Luzy Center, a building located roughly 200 yards from where Kirk was speaking. This confirms the shooting was a sniper-style attack, not a close-range confrontation. Security camera videos show a person going up stairwells to get onto a roof before firing at Kirk, the release stated. The shooter then reportedly climbed down off the roof and slipped away in the ensuing mayhem, blending in with the panicked crowd. A rifle hidden in a towel was recovered by state police on Thursday in a wooded area near the campus. DPS officials described it as a high-powered bolt-action rifle. The firearm is undergoing forensic analysis at the FBI's laboratory in Quantico, Virginia. According to information circulated among law enforcement, there was a spent cartridge in the chamber and 3 other rounds loaded in the magazine. Investigators also revealed that the person of interest left critical evidence behind. That person left a palm imprint and other DNA materials on the building as he dropped down to the ground, officials said, noting they were confident the materials would eventually lead to an identification. The images circulated by the FBI show a male who appears to be of college age, wearing all black clothing, including a black top, black sunglasses, and a dark baseball cap. The individual's shirt is emblazoned with a prominent image of a bald eagle flying across a U.S. flag. The grainy security footage shows him carrying a long object consistent with the rifle that was later discovered. Officials cautioned that the individual is currently classified as a person of interest and not yet a formal suspect. The presence of top federal officials underscores the national significance of the case. FBI Director Kash Patel arrived in Utah on Thursday to personally oversee the Joint Task Force. The full resources of the Federal Bureau of Investigation are being brought to bear to solve this heinous crime, Director Patel said in a brief statement. "We are working around the clock to protect the integrity of our investigation and bring the person responsible for this act to justice." The FBI has offered a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the individual responsible for Kirk's death, an amount that officials suggested could increase as donations from private citizens have begun to pour in. The fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk sent shockwaves through the nation's capital Thursday, with U.S. President Donald Trump condemning the act as a heinous assassination and ordering flags to be lowered to half-staff at all federal buildings. The killing stirred outrage and denunciations of political violence from Republicans and Democrats alike, punctuating what has been described as the most sustained period of U.S. political violence since the 1970s. President Trump, who considered Kirk a close ally and a key figure in his Get Out the Vote effort among young conservatives, addressed the killing from the White House. "This was not a random act of violence. This was a political assassination of a great American patriot," Trump told reporters. He announced that he would posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. Vice President J.D. Vance canceled a scheduled trip abroad and instead traveled to Utah to meet with Kirk's family and to fly them and Kirk's casket home to Arizona aboard Air Force Two, a powerful symbol of the administration's grief and the victim's high standing. Investigators have yet to publicly discuss any motive. However, the nature of the attack on a prominent political figure has led lawmakers and commentators to frame it as an act of domestic extremism. While officials have urged caution, online sleuths have already filled social media and message boards with speculation and blame casting about the killer's ideology. The attack was swiftly condemned across the political spectrum. Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom, who last March hosted Kirk on his podcast for a lengthy debate, posted on X, "The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. While we disagreed on many things, he was a guest in my home. He was a husband and father. Political violence has no place in America." The bipartisan response highlighted a growing consensus that the nation's increasingly toxic political discourse had crossed a dangerous threshold. The personal cost of the tragedy was brought into sharp focus by President Trump's remarks about his conversation with Kirk's widow. "I have spoken with Kirk's wife, Erica Francevy," Trump said, "and she's devastated. She's absolutely devastated, as you can imagine." Kirk is survived by his wife, former Miss Arizona USA Erica Francevy, and their 2 children, a 3-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old son. The search for the person of interest in the killing of Charlie Kirk continues, leaving a nation to grapple with an act of political violence that struck at the heart of public discourse. As investigators follow every lead provided by thousands of tips, the story is far from over. Thank you for watching Default Content Channel. We will continue to monitor this developing case. To stay informed with fact-based, objective reporting as new details emerge, don't forget to subscribe to Default Content Channel and hit the notification bell.